Laure and I first met when we were both financial analysts at Goldman Sachs. It was our first job out of school, and we just became fast friends. We've been friends for over 30 years now. The Laure before the stroke is one of those people that everyone looked up to. She'd gone to some of the best schools with Stanford, Harvard. She worked at some of the best firms with, Goldman Sachs. She was also an entrepreneur. And so she just was successful at everything she did. She just lived life totally to the fullest.
Laure and I met in New York in the summer of 1992. I mean, she's magnetic. Like, she was just a force. Everybody wanted to be around her. You wanted to be her. And for some reason, I was lucky enough to be one of those that she wanted to be around.
In addition to just being friends, having fun together, she has always been a mentor to me. We were overworked at Goldman, and it was very stressful work. But every time she enters the room, she brought in that sunshine and the calmness with her. I just always admire her.
First impression of Laure was she was very with it, ambitious but funny, very focused on her job, and she was cute. What I liked about Laure was she was true to herself.
When I look at core memories that I had with my mom pre-stroke, I'd say some of the biggest things were food and music. She was always very cheerful. She had a little bit of that tiger mom in her.
Marat Max Mizra singing Spaghetti Song, September 16, 2009. Go!
But in general, she just wanted me to, be excited, have all these different experiences at a very young age, and to not be afraid of the unknown.
And then one for me, I ate it up.
Yay!
The day of the stroke, Laure and I had a bunch of errands to do with the kids. Laure went to work, and I took Marat back home. And then I went to the office, which is where I got the call. Laure had a seizure, and the ambulance was on its way, and it sedated her. So we just thought she was, the brain was resolving after the seizure. You knew something was wrong, but you didn't know how serious it was until that 9 p.m. that day, 8 hours later, when basically the doctor was like, if she hadn't been moved to ICU at that point, she probably would have passed away in the ER.
I got a call that April 2010 from Kabir.
It wasn't a common thing to get a phone call from Kabir, so I picked it up and immediately...
Kabir relayed that Laure had had a devastating stroke and that she was in the hospital in a coma. And, I'm shaking now thinking about it. And I never heard Kabir. He's like Laure, right? He was always so just pulled together, and I never heard him waver, shake. And just hearing him, I could almost see him shaking, like on the phone. And that shook me, and I stayed on the ground, I felt like, for hours.
Kabir said, I think you need to come to Hong Kong to say goodbye to Laure. So Jean and I got on a plane, honestly, to go there because we thought we were going to say goodbye to one of our best friends. We didn't know if she would be able to live.
Your first reaction is like, why her, right? It's sort of like, she's such a wonderful human being, and why her?
I can picture the hospital room, and I can picture where Erin and I sat on her right-hand side. And I remember just touching her and just hoping she would wake up.
I just remember knowing something was wrong because I never saw any of the male figures in my family cry. And my grandfather was wailing.
You feel like the whole world just stops, and you're just, there every day, hoping and praying with her, talking to her, encouraging her, to fight hard and to come back and to live.
It was about like 3 days in when I think they realized that there was the possibility that when she came out of the coma, she would be locked in.
When she came to us at Stanford, I would say her condition was very poor. She was awake, but only intermittently responsive. This type of stroke that Laure suffered is actually very rare. She had a large stroke in a part of the brainstem called the pons. And in the pons are fibers that go from the cortex down to the spinal cord that allow your body to move, but also fibers that go out to the face that allow talking and swallowing. The part of the brain that makes us who we are, that lets us think and remember and have emotions, all of that is intact in Laure. That's all up here. That wasn't injured, but she's locked in the sense that those things cannot express themselves by physical movement in the body. A complete locked-in syndrome probably represents, 1% of those posterior circulation strokes. Ultimately, it's probably a 1 in a million type of stroke. We unfortunately don't have any treatments available currently that can reverse the damage. What we've seen is that there has been improvement over time. That's all done through physical therapy and the patient's own determination in getting better.
I don't remember anything. Not the how, not the coma, not the rush of visitors. Locked-in syndrome. The word syndrome doesn't begin to capture what it means to have my entire life torn away. I grieved so much for the loss of my old identity. And selfishly, I wished I had died. But Murat was only 4, and Madden was a mere 4 months old. I wanted to live for them, and Kabir. For my family, I found the motivation to fight, to accept my new self and find ways out of this hermetic prison.
A-E-I-O-P-Q-R-S. Michelle? Laure has a communication system where we spell, and it's basically using the alphabets, but we start off with the vowels. So we blink once for the letter, and then she blinks for the letter to go in the row after the vowels, and then she'll blink twice if she wants that exact letter. Ready for your 3 pyramids?
I learned that spelling communication system probably when I was 5.
A, B, C, D. How was Marnie?
There's never been a time where me or my younger brother did not want to be able to communicate with our mom. And so as soon as we could learn, we started learning.
She's always there, and just if you need to talk to her, you can. And she always offers help. She wants to be involved. I'll do my homework in the living room, so then while I'm doing that, I'm able to talk to her. She can ask me questions whenever she wants. So it's more just me being in the same room as her really allows conversation and connection.
There were never times where I would want her to be there and she didn't show up. She always made sure where if I felt like I needed to have her presence felt, if we had a parents' day or a student-led conference or any sort of presentation that you could have guests to, she was always there.
Laure being Laure, she never stopped trying. It's very, very hard and it's painful for her. But over the years, I know she's never give up on working on making sure her body can stay in a way that would allow her to kind of be present.
She was just so determined. She did every sort of PT and rehab that they told her to do and more. It seemed like one day could hold herself up in a chair, could hold her neck up in the chair, didn't need the restraints anymore, could swallow food, and could taste that sip of wine through, a straw.
It may seem like small steps, but the level of perseverance and determination and hard work she's put into every small step is incredible. I also remember with her voice, it took a lot of physical therapy just to be able to make sounds. And I remember coming here one time and she was able to say hello, what sounded like, a hello. And she was able to say, I love you. I mean, that's hours of therapy. And to hear that voice, you could hear it. And yet just to know what she put into doing that, just so she could have not just the spelling, but to actually have her voice back.
Working to stay strong physically seems like the easy part. What's harder is to stay strong mentally. Depression creeps in easily and often. I try not to give in by finding purpose in publicly sharing my journey through speeches, a documentary, and writing.
Sometimes she writes her book on the Dynavox, And sometimes she'll write her book in her notes on her phone. And when she's spelling with us to write it down, then that's when it will start.
A-E-I-O-I.
She's like blinking out emails, blinking out books. Boy, you know, even in her state of being, she's living a much more meaningful life, for sure, than me, because I feel sometimes I'm not so motivated, but I mean, her motivation, her drive to stay relevant in this world is so strong. It's very inspiring.
Send.
I'm on a new mission. After everything I've been through, I'm using my experiences to help others. Through Stroke of Hope, a foundation I established for advancing stroke research, supporting mental and physical recovery, and creating a community where stroke survivors never feel alone.
She came up with this idea when she was going through depression and when she was searching online for support and she could not find any mental support.
There are not enough resources to deal with the mental health aspects that stroke patients have to deal with day in and day out, and we really struggle to find psychologists or psychiatrists that have expertise and can deal with those. So kudos to Laure for wanting to help contribute to those efforts.
Mix.
I think when I see her paint and I see her Instagram, I mean, I'm glad that she's found these activities that make her happy. I think it took her a while to figure out and realize that she could still do these. Just the fact that she's, you know, branching out and finding new things, it's inspiring to see. It shows that she still has so much more she can do and wants to do and like isn't only thinking about her condition.
When I reflect on her journey from seeing her the first time in her hospital bed in Hong Kong to the life she has now, I don't think I could have ever imagined how much she's been able to gain back. I mean, she is still able to travel, she's able to go out and experience life around her, she's able to develop deep friendships. You know, she's totally aware of all the current events around her and has opinions on everything. She has fought so hard to be where she is today. She's never given up a day where she hasn't fought to live.
Yay! Happy birthday!
She can do it.
Oh my God!
I don't have any patients like Laure. Laure is a one-off patient for me. And I've learned a lot from her, which I think I've brought to other patients. One of the main things I've learned is just how incredibly adaptive and malleable the human spirit is. When the worst thing happens, it's amazing that people are able to adapt to that.
Laure, when she laughs now, it's just this like guttural laugh that is so good because you want her to be so happy and laughing all the time.
Plan A and plan B.
I know.
Like,
So
he's gonna kick us out.
I want people to know that she gives so much more than anybody. And it may not look like it, that she can give, but she can and she will and she wants to. And she's so much fun. She's just so much fun. Like, get to know her.
I just really admire her spirit. She's gone through like a few rough patches, but she always bounces back from them. I know it's like the parent usually proud of the kid, but definitely like proud of her, especially because I know how much work she puts in to being able to improve and get better.
She's put us first. She's put the family first. And I'm forever grateful and forever proud of the fact that she was able to kind of bridge that gap, make that jump and say, you know, there are obviously gonna be times where I feel sad, I feel depressed, I feel like I can't do anything, but I no longer live my life only for myself. And I think that's one of the biggest things I look at when I see the effort that she puts in. It's not just for her, it's for all of us as well.
I draw strength from Laure. It's hard not to because you see someone who's in constant pain, whose life's been turned upside down, but she's still persevering through therapy, through trying to hang out with the kids, trying to go on vacation. She's been through a lot, and she's managed to come out of it on the other side, not a bitter person, a good human being. She's a good wife and a good mother and a good steward for the family.
I have learned that my life is worth living, not by feeling sorry for myself, but by giving myself compassion, by letting go of the need to control everything, leaning on faith, being there for my family, and finding little moments of joy. There's still purpose, still light, still hope. If I could leave you with one request, it's this. If you meet me, don't be afraid to engage and include me. I prefer questions over avoidance, because even with everything that's changed, I'm still me. I'm still Laure Wang, mind, heart, and spirit.